you to do that. And give us another minute or two and we'll get started here. Welcome everyone. Sit back, relax, enjoy this evening's discussion with Yogi. Namaste.
Hello everyone on the YouTube as well as looks like is not working the way it's supposed to, but I will try what I can. Hello Mala, can you hear me? Looks like bit too high or too low in the YouTube. I will adjust it. Hello Laura, good to see you. Hello everyone. I have a lady bird in the room. What do you call lady bird? But doesn't look like lady bird, should be ladybug. Maybe it's flies, might be lady bird. I don't really know. So, hello everyone. And I do remember there were some questions left from last time. I can't really have to recall them, but if anybody do ask the question and they still remembers it, you can always post it and we can always talk about it. There was one question I got asked today is what is Bhakti Yoga? What is Bhakti Yoga? May I ask on YouTube, can you hear me okay? See me? If yes, give me a thumbs up. I know it might be a little dark on YouTube. So, what is a Bhakti Yoga? Is especially the Valentine's Day tomorrow is all about love, I believe. Yeah. So, somebody asked me a question, what is a Bhakti Yoga? And what is love? And what is a Bhakti Yoga in Himalayan Hatha Yoga? I'm pretty sure everybody understands the word love. But when you talk about word love, in our day-to-day concept is more to do with sense pleasure. Sense pleasure. You are devout to your senses, you are devout to your own pleasure and comfort. There is nothing wrong with the pleasure and comfort. But if your existence is only about that, you limit your growth, you limit your possibility of transcending your purpose of existence. There is many paths are described to find the inner unity or separate yourself from the illusion, so called. Because I believe even at some point yoga itself becomes an illusion. Yoga itself becomes an illusion. Whatever you perceive and believe, or whatever you have gained, or whatever you will gain, is all matter of an illusion. So, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, anything actually you practice, they are all come to an end at some point. They do not, you cannot hold on to them. If you hold on to them, you miss the purpose of them. They are a tool. They are not the sadhya, which they are not the something you need to attain, hold on to it or achieve it. They are a tools, they are sadhana. What you practice is a sadhana through using them. Following the practices of whatever path you are doing is a sadhana. Sadhana is the tool that whatever path you are on, sadh is what you achieve from it. Sometime you are start practicing the mantra practice, your mantra becomes the prime focus. Not really. Mantra is actually dead. At some point, mantra disappears, only you remain. Similarly, you have one meditation technique you practice, sooner or later this meditation practice becomes irrelevant. Similarly, every word you speak, once the word delivers the message, a person accepts that message, the word becomes irrelevant. His words are only useful to deliver the message. They are a sadhana. You can't hold on to the words. You can say the same word and have a completely different effect of it. If the word was priority, outcome will be the same. But outcome changes depending on what is the intention behind it. And Bhakti Yoga is just one of the paths of a self-realization, self-understanding, self-acceptance, developing yourself, transforming yourself, cultivating a self-faith, cultivating dedication, cultivating discipline. All those things you can develop it even through Bhakti Yoga. It's dependent on what your alignment is. If you are a person who's very emotional, not very rational, you are very emotional, very devout, your intentions are always very soft inside, driven by the power of your heart, power of the emotions, driven by power of feelings, power of intentions. At the same time, there is a little less ego as well. Basically, I will say more ego you have, you should practice Bhakti Yoga because it requires a great surrender. Till you can't surrender, you can't grow. Bhakti Yoga is a tool to surrender the ego, to let go the control over the outcome. let go the power struggle, the power play, that you are in charge, you are God. Maybe not. So basically, is in the Bhakti Yoga is not a part of religion, but is more used in religious practices. It more become a form of religion. So Bhakti means devotion. Devotion with absolute dedication, with absolute discipline, with absolute surrender and total faith. Now word faith raises lots of people's ears. People don't like to have a faith. I guarantee you, I have not seen somebody or anyone in life who does not have a faith. Depend what you have a faith in. In Himalayan Hatha Yoga, I teach the Bhakti Yoga. First, faith you should have to your mental capacity, that you can do it. That is also a faith. That is also a bhakti, developing dedication to your practice, not compromising, developing love while you are practicing the asana, feeling the vibration, developing the gratitude while you are practicing. Only difficult path of people lose the path of Bhakti Yoga when your Bhakti Yoga only becomes duty. The moment you lose the dedication, discipline, gratitude, surrender, faith, it just only becomes a duty. At that time, your Bhakti Yoga is actually dead. You are just performing an act. Similarly, it's like a dead relationship. When your relationship is very healthy, fruitful, loving, caring, surrenderness, grace is there, all those elements are there. But that is a human level. You don't know who you are loving. The moment you get to know it, it becomes a disillusion. Similarly, having a love with no expectation, abundance of love, having a service, dedication, discipline, devotion with no expectation. But when you go to a temple, church, stupa, mosque, anywhere, prayers, in return of asking something, not Bhakti Yoga, but that is what is being practiced. Asking to forgive the sins, not Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga is cultivating the love inside you, developing the discipline, devotion, love, unconditional love, compassion to your existence with gratitude. A total surrender. That in Bhakti, I also have a many aspects of it. There is one aspect of the Bhakti is Raga Anuraga Bhakti. You can have many relationships with God or yourself, your energy, however you relate to it. The one Bhakti, I do remember, they say it's like an abundance of power, abundance of force you can have in Bhakti. Imagine in Bhakti you and God never meet, remember. You can never become a God. But the moment you become a God, you're no longer aware that actually you have become a God. Can you think for a moment at the point river is fighting for its identity? River is fighting for its identity and try to hold on to its identity. And the ocean is open arms, embracing, saying, please come and let go of yourself. But river and ocean, when they meet together, there's so much power there. At that point, there's clash of egos. Even you cannot resist it. It's going to happen. River is going to merge into the ocean, but there's resistance is there. To breaking down that resistance is created by the Bhakti Yoga. So the merging of your individual ego to your universal consciousness can take place without any difficulties in life and very smoothly. River do like to meet to the ocean but resisting same time. But river like to keep his identity because the moment it merges into the ocean, you can't separate it anymore. Doesn't matter how hard you try, you can't separate it. Doesn't matter how dirty or how clean, whatever the river is carries, like yourself, your mind, your ego, whatever it carries. But moment you merge into the Bhakti Yoga, it is irrelevant. It becomes a subject of devotion. It's easiest way to transform the emotions, transform the feelings, transform the heart chakra energy. It becomes a egoless state. Devouring your individual identity is subject of Bhakti Yoga. Whereas Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga, Hatha Yoga, all of them without the Bhakti can develop a spiritual ego as well. I'm not saying the Bhakti yogis don't have the ego. They also have, they say, I'm a greater yogi, I'm a greater bhakta, I'm a greater devotee. So there's a many goodness into Bhakti Yoga. The point when you are in egoless state, you are in the Bhakti Yoga. Where your ego becomes absolutely zero, nil. Similarly, in the moment of love you are in, you don't have ego at that time. So that is a Bhakti Yoga. There was another question I had today is about frequencies. As you go to the path of yoga, spirituality, there's lots of issues happens. You said my energy change or the person's energy change and it doesn't flow anymore. It doesn't flow anymore. It might be the truth. But concern is if you look too much only into the past and identify the person based on the past is the wrong thing to judge it. You should judge the person based on the present circumstances, not based on the past. Love can be very healing. Only difficulty it becomes when you look for a substitute for it. Substitutes. Like I know the meditation is a transcending. But if you cannot succeed in meditation because you want a very fast shortcut to transform, you turn to drugs. You go for a herbal plant drugs. We create a psychological problems. It may create a fantasy that you want something so badly. Rather than cultivating that love that you have, nourishing that love what you have, and growing into it, you try to create a fantasized situation of that love. It can become very dangerous. So if you're looking for spiritual highlights and shortcut, don't take any drugs. They don't really do anything for you. They create a temporary, short-term pleasure, short-term expansion of your awareness. But soon as you finish, it have left certain expectations that you want to go back to it. It can create a whirlpool in your life, even through your practices as well. So personally, if you are a part of yoga, it can actually transform your heart, can open up your feeling, can warm your heart, can do lots of things. You do not need drugs. You do not need any herbal medication or any form of substance. If something that needs to be done to your heart warming or the opening of the heart chakra from externally not have taken place authentically, naturally, is going to at some point create a discomfort. It's going to create some issue and you're going to leave a hole that you wanted and you achieved it with temporary solution, now no longer exist after some time, you want to go back again to it. Creates a addiction. It's addiction to something that you don't have, but you want it so badly, you constantly repeating and doing whatever it needs to be done to be in that state. So if you have enough love in your heart, either to your children, to your parents, to your husband, to your boyfriend, or at least to God, if not, forget everyone, at least for yourself. Have enough gratitude and love for yourself. That is the Bhakti Yoga. In a lowest form of Bhakti Yoga is gratitude about your existence, gratitude about the presence of the vibration of godly presence inside you. So there's many things actually you can practice, but depending where you are in life. So Himalayan Hatha Yoga, we practice Bhakti Yoga. In each posture you are in, cultivate a love for it. Cultivate a gratitude. No fighting with the body. Zero fight. That is love. That is creating a gratitude in the body as well. No competition. Accepting yourself as you are. That is the Bhakti Yoga. In the principles, in Himalayan Hatha Yoga, we practice Bhakti Yoga in action. Not in a theory, not as some ritual, not as some form of practice. It is a feeling that you cultivate in each posture. The vibration you try to feel in each posture. And try to be grateful for the love, the God, or the whoever you believe, the frequency, the vibration. Even you have a master, to that master having a gratitude and faith at the Bhakti Yoga. Beyond that, to your dedication every day that you have a faith to go to your mat, you're devout to your practice. Devout to your own sadhana, that is the Bhakti Yoga in Himalayan Hatha Yoga. Not a worship. You worship your posture, every one of them you do. That it can become a Bhakti Yoga. Is a intention that you hold in your heart. While you're doing any posture, you can have the God you believe inside your heart and practice those postures. So there's many things you can practice. So remember, there is a difference between pleasure and love. What we call it love is actually not love. It is an expectation and satisfaction to your senses. Love is far beyond that. Once you go into the state of love doesn't die. It always grows. But when you are in human terms, when it talks about love, it's a matter of only of your senses. Because the moment your senses doesn't get satisfaction, no longer love is there. You don't love that person anymore. You even do horrible things to each other. How can you call each other that you love? I don't think so. Just only a comforting each other's senses is not love. It is a coexisting, supporting each other's senses is not love. That is classified as a comfort and a pleasure to your senses. You pleasing each other. Love is when you reach to the egoless state, it actually never dies. It's not a subject of your senses. That's when the love is cultivated. That's when the bhakti yoga starts. Where you go and see a God, you judge, oh, this deity is beautiful or not beautiful. You please in your eyes. You don't see the real beauty. If you have not created the quality of love inside you, it's just external ornament decoration. So this is enough on Bhakti Yoga and enough about drugs. Try to create Bhakti Yoga. Drugs usually try to create openness of the heart chakra. Remember, you cannot heal anyone. Only person you can heal is yourself. The moment you heal yourself, everyone you are connected with start healing. As long as you have a desire, you want to heal, you are escaping, running away from something that is bothering you inside you. Try to heal yourself. The desire to heal will disappear. Healing will automatically start taking to the people whoever you want to heal. You do not need a urge or desire to do it. Maybe a political need. So, next question somebody asked. There was on Instagram. I have to go into the system. I don't really like to go to the phone. It's a very beautiful question somebody asked. The question somebody asked is where is it? Here we go. A Pankaj Garg from India. If the free will is an illusion as a separate identity, follow my question. If free will is an illusion as separate identity, is just a thought. So to be no self is also predestined. Do you understand the question? If free will as an illusion, if the free will is as an illusion, as a separate identity is just a thought. So to be known or self is also predestined. My friend, whatever you get to know is also an illusion. Whatever you think that you know of yourself is also an illusion. Is actually known by your mind. You can never know yourself. Whatever you get to know, it becomes a matter of illusion. You can never know yourself fully. Because you are abundance, you are limitless. You are anant, means infinite. Infinite can never be known. You cannot put a parameters to it. So is energy, is abundance infinite. You cannot put the parameters to it. Yes, your identity is you can understand your identity, you can label your identity, but yourself is predestined as infinite. People can destine for you, you can destine yourself whatever you would like it to be. So yourself is also an illusion Whatever you predestine is also an illusion. Nothing predestined. Remember that. Nothing is predestined. Depending where you are in your cycle of karma. How you are controlled and ruled by the cycle of karma, it defines it. Are you predestined or not predestined? One thing is for predestined for this body, is that have to leave this body, you cannot stay forever. Whatever you accumulate in this body, if you were not developed the completely dropping of it, that will be predestined. But if you took the nirvana within this lifetime, while you are in the body, died while you are in the body, it no longer predestined. So there is another question I have. Hope you are fine and thank you. Opportunity we have, if there is a blockage in a chakra and we see the emotional or physical symptoms related to that particular chakra, how do we get that awareness that our asana practice and breathing exercise and meditation working in the right direction? If we do not feel the change, does it come in time? I mean, this awareness will be long-term commitment that we are doing our yoga practice along with meditation. First of all, your chakras are always vibrating. Only matter is you are aware of them or not aware of them. You have access to that energy or not have access to that energy. Get that right. They can never be blocked. Only matter is, are you able to tap into that energy of that chakra? Your mind have that ability to tap into the energy of that chakra frequency, the portal of that energy vibrating in your body, or not. They are all vibrating. None of them are blocked. Only difference is you do not have access to the treasure of that chakra. If the symptoms start appearing on your emotional and physical related to that particular chakra, is actually lack of having access to that energy. It will reflect on physically, mentally, and emotionally, all three aspects of it. How do you get that awareness, that chakra, asana practice, and breathing exercise, meditation, working in the right direction? Depend what practice you are doing, what kind of asana practice you are doing, and who is guiding you into that practice. If you are trained in the Gurukul discipline that we teach, we have all the elaboration of those practices, and over the time your body will get to know it, discover it, you will find a right practice. As your awareness grows, through the practice of meditation, pranayama, and asanas, soon and later, as long as you are consistent in your practice, devoted to your practice, with total gratitude, surrender, and discipline to your practice, I can assure you, you will reach to that point that what you call it blockage, but I call it lack of awareness and access to that energy. Your mind will have access to that energy to transform the sense that related to that chakra. So your body will not have those symptoms. If you do not feel the change, my dear, you are trying to deal with the only this lifetime problem, maybe which you are maybe not even fully aware of it. You have problems of many lifetimes. Your grandmother, your mother, mother's mother, 7 generations of a bio memories is actually held in your body. That is the physical I'm talking about. Never mind your karmic relations of previous lives. Those are different. I'm talking about physical manifested information. To transform and to accept the change is not about change is not happening. To the practice, are you accepting the change when it happens, or do you react to it? Or do you deny it, or you fight for it because you do not want the change, because you find the comfort in the way you are? Because you create an identity of it. So sometimes changes are happening. There might be very micro changes in your behavior, micro changes in your thinking, in your day-to-day lifestyle. You may not be even aware of them. Maybe if you are aware of them, but they are so gradual, you can't actually experience them. Other people may feel them, but not yourself. So over the time, if you start taking your diary every day, how you feel it, maybe one day you can go back and read it. You will find out how much you changed. I remember sometime I was teaching a asana practice. No, actually it was meditation, Vipassana Kriya. By the way, hopefully this year, if the restrictions are limited, we will hold our Vipassana practice in our Yogiville, Croatia. So it's very designed for meditation, like you are up in the Himalayas. So I was teaching Vipassana practice. That was in India, I think, not last year, but the year before. Because last year everybody was locked down, including myself. But actually I was very free. My body was in lockdown in the house, not me. So I asked, somebody came up, I don't really feel anything, but you asking me to feel. I don't feel any change in the practice, but I'm just doing it. I say, you say you don't really feel anything, but what happens when you rip your clothes off all the time? You take your clothes off. When you practice it, you get heat. That is a feeling. But you say you don't feel anything. Your body is feeling. I'm asking you to feel. But you feel heat, but you don't classify that it's a feeling. But for me, it is a feeling. It is a sensation. But you say, I don't feel anything else apart from just a bit of heat. I say you move throughout the practice. There's a discomfort in your body. That is also a feeling. There's something triggering you inside in order to move. Even you feel itchy, there's millions of activities have taken place in your biochemical inside the body. Your main molecules have communicated with each other, but you're not actually aware of it. You only can see what happened on the surface. The surface change, you don't actually relate to it as any form of transformation. Even you feel little itchy, that itchy taking place is a release of an emotion, that trapped energy inside you. You are reacting, the prana has been freed inside the body. but you don't see that as a change. So over the time, when you continue the practice, you will notice the change, but develop the mindfulness in your practice. Develop the awareness while you're doing. Do not practice as a performance. If you are practicing yoga, meditation, and the breathing exercise, pranayama, all three of them, with expectation, don't do it. Go with openness. Go with as if you are going to receive whatever happens during the practice without pre-plan, pre-expectation, and predestined. You create a good possibility. But if you go with the predestined idea that you do this, that's what is going to happen, that's what is good for it, maybe something else is taking place, but you're pre-busy expecting what you plan, you miss the point. You miss the possibility of experience that. So when you go to practice, either meditation or pranayama or asana practice, be open, no expectation, with total devotion, totally mindful, and with the gratitude. And you create a possibility to experience something greater that is hidden inside you. You create a possibility to tap into the energy that you call it blocked. I call it abundance source of energy inside you, but you see it as a block. Just tap into it. Create a accessibility with your mind and with your senses. Work them in the same direction. Next question I have about second baby. This is a bit a longer question. I might read it or might answer it. However, ever since I had my daughter in 2016, my gravity have changed in the body and my backbends do create an issue. Not something I properly address or labeled as such, but since we are in a lockdown, especially now, there are no live classes and teachers presence in the studio. I am in a studio. I can even adjust you while you are far away to the camera, depending who the teacher is. I find it even challenging and almost impossible, especially when it comes to Sirshasana and Urdhva Dhanurasana. It is not even fear. I don't know what it is. It is also not a question of a strength. Would you be able to offer me some guidance on this, please? Come to my class and raise your hand. I will make sure you don't have the fear. That's the one guidance. Second guidance, once you give a birth, depend what kind of birth you gave to. Was it normal delivery or not normal delivery? If 2016, 4 years ago, even you had a cesarean 10 years ago, there will be a certain tissues, scars will still create a hindrance and weakness. The connective tissues are not able to communicate to give a core strength to you. That will create a physical discomfort in the body. Even your body was cut open to certain period of time, that leaves the vulnerability in your lower back, and that leads some weakness in your core strength as well. So if you had normal delivery and went straight to the yoga practice too early and created a split of your stomach, that can also create a problem for your Sirshasana and Urdhva Dhanurasana. So it all depends what did you practice after giving birth, this is what you have been practicing and what else you are practicing. In the terms of practice, a guidance, there's a slow, gradual practice. I know that you said there is no matter of strength. You can be stronger physically but not mentally. To have a little fear inside of falling over, maybe having a fear of hurting. All those things can make a little discomfort. So my advice will be, before you do a Sirshasana, learn to roll in a park like a roly-polies. Learn to roll as a roly-polies. That will build and make the tissues to talk like a child basically. That will help Sirshasana as well as Urdhva Dhanurasana. Other part you can do, practice camel posture to heal. If there is any scar tissues, communication is there. Few other practices you can do to build the Sirshasana practice. Try to stand on one leg but longer period of the time. Vrikshasana, what we call it, tree posture. And Garudasana, eagle posture. Do two of them in the roly-poly and camel posture. For posture, they will create a strength, but make sure do not compromise your back. There is one more question, let me finish that as well. Can you tell me more about fascia? I think we talked about fascia last week. How important it is to work with fascia to release the fascia. What are the benefits of doing this? Fascia is a interconnective tissues that hold on to the memory. Your muscle memory can be changed, but fascia is the longest memory actually hold on to the body. If you eating meat today, you give some tomorrow, you may forget it, the taste and everything, but fascia still holds the memory inside your body for approximate 7 years. To regenerate the entire fascia memory, it takes 7 years of time. But meantime, even you thought about one day of eating it, it goes back into it. So, important part is the support, provide the protection, holds through the memory, communicate with each other, the molecules, prevents the injuries in the body. That's the job of fascia. We do lots of kriyas. What techniques in the yoga? I recommend you Prana Kriya Yoga. There is several practices we do in Prana Kriya Yoga to release the fascia. If you want to work through the meditation, Savasana is the best. But not for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Must do 3 to 4 hours Savasana. Do not move. Play dead, but don't become dead. Die before your death comes to you, you can release the fascia. On that note, thank you very much everyone. Namaste for participating. And if you like, the recording will be left on YouTube. You can share it, participate with whoever you like. And if you are not on YouTube, not subscribed, please subscribe it. And ring the bell button as well, so you get whenever I start the video, you get notification. Okay, on that note, thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Thank you everyone on YouTube. Namaste. If you have questions, send it to me. I will answer it next week. Send it to me personally by email.